and authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf Cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at instantReplaySportsCards.com. Celebrating 60 years in business? That boot store must be doing something right. How about one of the largest Western collections in the area? Carhartt work clothes, affordable prices, and absolutely the best personal service you'll find anywhere. These are just a few reasons that boot store is celebrating 60 years in business. Stop in today. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia 15th Street in Panama City. That boot store, where God is good all the time.
Hello, this is Rick Vosser with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
There is a cat overpopulation issue in the Panama City area, and these cats suffer so many hardships and illnesses, it's heartbreaking. Most are easily treated if caught in time.
Upper respiratory issues have been the biggest ones this year. This causes eye infections that may result in ruptured eyes and even blindness. We also see broken legs, resulting in disability and even amputation. A vision-impaired cat with limited mobility has a grim existence on the street.
Every day, Hillary and her team at Kibbles and Cover's Animal Welfare Group are on the front lines of the cat overpopulation issue. Your team has been an incredible asset to the community and a voice for the voiceless.
It is a constant battle. The message we need to get out there is to spay and neuter. Whether it be your pet or community stray, TNVR helps tremendously in many, many ways. Overpopulation being number one.
Follow Hillary Slayton on Facebook and be a part of the solution to the feline overpopulation issue in Northwest Florida.
College basketball lives here. WGSX Lynn, WPLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Monday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Live and local on 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. And then last but not least, download that free mobile app so you can take us anywhere that you may go that has a Wi-Fi connection, or if it's on your cell phone, if you have data. So it's the world we live in now. It's pretty fancy, all these new technology things we have and all that good stuff. But Jay, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Ryan. A little tired. Stayed up till 11 o'clock last night. So,
Game was got a little bonus football, that's for sure.
We sure did.
Got a little bonus football. Yeah, definitely a little tired myself. Hard to contain the excitement and the yelling and all that, even though I shouldn't have been. But certainly hard to turn that off, that's for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to try to stay engaged today on the show and not be depressed and all that good stuff. But hey,
I witnessed it firsthand last night, and I think somebody said last night, did they hear you in Vegas last night with the screaming? I think
on one of those, it was the intentional grounding call. I was yelling about that one, and then the flag did come. But it was a very clear intentional grounding as well. But the thoughts on the Super Bowl. First off, congratulations to the Chiefs. Congratulations to Patrick Mahomes and the dynasty that the Kansas City Chiefs are. Certainly that is the case. Did it a little differently this this year, as we've been talking about the last several weeks about the Chiefs' defense, and they certainly showed up in the second half and put the lockdown on the 49ers and took it to overtime and ended up getting it done. But thoughts on the game? Thoughts on the halftime? All that good stuff.
I didn't watch much of the halftime, I don't think. I mean, Usher did do a good job.
He did. I think anybody from the age of, let's call it 35 to 50 was excited about that halftime show, that's for sure, because it kind of brought you back to when you were growing up and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that was cool. Had some skin in the game, obviously, with you being a big 49ers fan.
Yeah.
Hanging out, with you last night. But, even if I didn't have any skin in the game with that, it was still a good game. It was a slow start, 10-3 at half. Not a lot of offense. But, the second half obviously ramped up, and, we got free football, too. So it was good.
And not all the players out there knew the new overtime rules, too. A lot of stuff to break down and talk about today, but we do have a phone call on the line, and that is Travis. Travis, how are you doing today?
What's up, guys?
Oh, we're here. We're here, live and local.
Yeah. I just really wanted to call and say, everybody that thought that Brock Purdy was a game manager needs to just pack it up and go home. Because, I understand there was a lot of things that he could have done. I don't mean like it would have changed a lot, but there was a lot of things that, some throws that I was like, why are you throwing it in the dirt? Well, a lot of times he was pressured. But the dude's 24 years old. So what is he going to do for me? He's only going to go up.
Yeah, so, it's only his first full league in the year as a quarterback. And if you watched any of the pregame stuff and listened to some of the other quarterbacks in the league, C.J. Stroud, I think, had a great interview just talking about how difficult it is to play the quarterback position. And the good news is, since 2015, we have only had 2 seasons where we've had our starting quarterback from the beginning of the season play all the way through the end of the season. And both of those years, we made it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we lost, but I think we finally found a quarterback for an extended period of time, which has kind of been the missing piece the last 20 years or so to speak.
And I'm glad to see that there was one face on TV, and that was Cam Newton, so he could see that Brock Purdy did better than him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there you go. Neither one of them got the dub, but yeah, just a tough position to play. I thought the Chiefs did a great job of bringing a lot of pressure in the second half and just kind of disrupted the 49ers offense. And that freak injury, too, Dre Greenlaw going down with an Achilles tear, coming out onto the field after exciting and bouncing up and down. 3 Achilles tears this year that I know of anyway, with some pretty high-profile players. Obviously, don't know if that would have affected anything, made anything different. Obviously, he's one of our better playmakers on defense, that's for sure. But that's part of the game. People are going to get injured. At least it wasn't Brock Purdy this time in the NFC Championship. So,
Travis, did you?
Yeah, I was real worried about him because I saw him take a couple on the chin.
He took some shots, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Did you watch any of the TV commercials by chance? You got a favorite?
I actually watched all of them, or at least, most of them until about the third or fourth quarter, because there has been rumors that apparently the college football video game's supposed to do an ad they were just filming a couple weeks ago. So I was thinking, Super Bowl, everybody's watching, perfect time to air it. Apparently not.
Yeah, it would have made sense. Yeah, just expensive. Yeah, expensive for EA to do that for sure. A little $7 million to get the 30-second ad in there.
Oh yeah, like they're not going to make it back on the first 2 hours.
Oh, they're going to sell a ton of those games just from nostalgia alone. It's going to be exciting. I heard rumors it was sometime in June, maybe, but I don't
July.
July. That's right.
July. I think it's either July 12th or 14th. That someone, actually one of the guys, the Gator guys, he has a podcast, and he went pretty viral saying that he's got a source that I think it was either 12th or the 14th of July.
Jay, you need to start that.
Right.
Put it out there on your stuff and say, hey, I heard from this guy that I know over there in Japan with EA Sports. This is the day it's coming out, and just watch it spread and then get some lessons out of it.
There you go.
See, it's all about brand awareness. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure.
But I I enjoyed watching the game.
That was a great football game, especially if you had no skin in the game. That's for sure.
And but unfortunately, I knew a minute and 30 in the game, and Patrick Mahomes gets the ball. It was fixing to be a ball game.
Yeah. That's tough, and that's what there's been a lot of discussion today. Obviously, we'll get into a lot of it today, but a lot of discussion on the Niners taking the ball there after winning the coin toss to go into overtime.
I didn't understand that. I was like, what are you doing? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's such a tough one because it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if the outcome you don't want to have happen doesn't happen, you're going to get criticized for it, no matter which side of the coin, no pun intended there, Jay, of that you'll be on. But yeah, I think, and I read a lot of stuff about it too, and I think his mindset, they went looking at the stupid analytics again, and we're saying that they were kind of thinking both teams were going to score and match each other because of the way the new rules are with both teams getting an opportunity to have the ball. So Kyle was thinking that they were going to trying to get the third possession to potentially go win the football game. But ifs and buts, candies and nuts. We all maybe get the 6th Super Bowl trophy.
I believe I texted and told you this, but what aggravates me the most about this whole thing actually ties in with my team. So in, I think, 2017 when Patrick Mahomes was drafted, he was drafted number 10th overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 11 was the New Orleans Saints that was getting ready to pull the trigger on him. And like that, just to think about that one pick is the difference between how many Super Bowls have they won since he's been there?
3.
3? Yeah. And I mean, you can't say, oh, well, New Orleans doesn't have the talent the Chiefs had. Actually, I would say minus Kelsey and all that. I mean, I think they do, but they have Patrick Mahomes, and he was going to be Drew Brees' successor, and one pick has destroyed it. Yeah. Absolutely destroyed.
And that was a crazy draft year as well. And, Patrick Mahomes went 10th in that one, as you mentioned. But we actually had the 3rd pick that year, and we took defensive end Solomon Thomas. Obviously, hindsight, you don't know who's really going to pan out in quarterback world. We took Trey Lance 3rd a couple years ago as well, and that didn't work out too well either. So you just never really, really know. And Christian McCaffrey was in that same draft as well, went to the Carolina Panthers a couple picks before that. But at least you're not the Chicago Bears, who took Mitch Trubisky 2nd in that draft. So it can always be worse.
I do think that if, Kansas City never trades up and New Orleans takes Mahomes, which they took Lattimore on that, and he's still proven to be a very good defender.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, if Mahomes goes to New Orleans, I really think that it goes, he sits behind Drew Brees. Drew Brees retires a little earlier, and Sean Payton's still in the Saints and winning Super Bowls.
Yeah,
I mean,
could be.
Honestly,
he's definitely that good of a difference maker.
Like you said, if and buts, but I mean, that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, it's a very. I mean, you were right there, one pick behind. Yep, but Lattimore he's done great in the league, that's for sure. He's a wonderful cornerback. And then Deshaun Watson was taken by the Houston Texans right after that. Interesting quarterback.
Holy crap. It's crazy that it feels like these guys have been in the league forever.
Yep. Well, I mean, 2017 was 7 years ago.
Well, it feels like that Mahomes has only been, the quarterback for a little while.
Yeah.
Because we always like to say, oh, well, he's kind of newer quarterback. And in all honesty, I mean, these old guys that we think of, Mitch Trubisky and Deshaun Watson and all them, they're like falling out. They're actually the same in the same draft. So it's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Christian McCaffrey is insane, like you said.
Yep. Yeah, you had Jamal Adams in that one. Leonard Fournette was in that draft. He feels like he's been in the league forever. It feels like he's an elder statesman at this point. But But, yeah, whatever happened to John Ross? He was drafted by the Bengals right before Patrick Mahomes was in that one. But, yeah, Christian McCaffrey went 8th. The Panthers and Marlon Humphrey, still doing well for the Ravens. He was back in 2017. A lot of good players in that 17 draft now that I'm going back and looking at these first-round picks. That is for sure. But since we're talking about that, who do you think goes first in this draft coming up?
I don't know. I think Caleb Williams goes first. I don't think it's deserved, I guess. I don't think that he's going to pan. I could be completely wrong. I just don't think he's going to pan out to be the greatest thing that they're talking about. Honestly, as far as quarterbacks go, I do like Michael Penix. I mean, maybe not first overall, but I do like him. I don't really care for Jaden Daniels much. He's just too skinny, I guess. But
a lot of people high on Drake May's development potential. They remind him of a Mahomes and a Josh Allen, where his mechanics may not be, the perfect type of thing, but he's a big guy, very athletic, and might be able to develop into a really good quarterback depending on how or where he goes. But you think the Bears keep Justin Fields?
They should.
I agree.
Where do you think Travis falls into this? Quarterback from FSU. Where do you think he falls?
Jordan Travis. He's probably a second or third rounder.
You think so?
Yeah.
I would go even farther. I mean,
top 5.
I actually agree with you, Travis. I think second or third round might be a little bit high, especially coming off that injury like that.
Yeah,
he seems like a 4th, 5th, 6th rounder to me, which is not a bad thing.
No, there's been a lot of really good quarterbacks that have came from those second and third day draft boards. That's for sure.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he was good, but I mean, I'll say it, and I might get lots of criticism for it, but oh well. I didn't trust him in Florida State when he was healthy and going to the playoffs or anything. I didn't trust him at all. I mean, he looked like he was really good at one point, and then it was like and the other, and he had his ups and downs that you just when you have ups and downs like that, and you look like at one point you're struggling, at one point you're not. It's hard to go into the NFL with all the big dogs and really prosper.
Yeah, it really just depends on what team you get drafted to. Like, if you get drafted into a team that's already really good and well established but just needs that quarterback position but has a great line, kind of the opposite situation of what happened to Bryce Young in Carolina. I think, going to a team that just has a really tough offensive line is always going to be tough as a rookie quarterback, that's for sure.
Well, I'm going to make David mad with this one, but Alabama quarterbacks are not great to me.
How's them Florida quarterbacks doing?
Well,
right there. There's enough said there. At least they're in the league, bro. What you got? I mean, if you want to open yourself up to it, we can go down that road. Like, for real, what is even the shining point there of Florida? It's like, for real. Y'all still trying to hope that y'all come back, man. Worry about that. I'm focused on if Kalen DeBoer is even going to be able to put quarterbacks into the league, dog.
Yeah, no doubt.
I appreciate you, though.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, you got Bryce Young, which was the problem with
Caleb Williams will be just like Bryce Young was. Hey, and I don't see myself up here being like, hey, Bryce Young is the guy. I was holding out hope for Mac Jones. That's busted. Hey, he played 17 games this year, and then Jalen Hurts is Alahoma. So give the credit to wherever it goes. But
there's a good reason that Alabama doesn't produce quarterbacks like crazy in the NFL. And it's because, Alabama's such a good team.
That's very fair.
I mean, if
they put some good running backs in the league, that's for sure.
You're so used to being protected and having a way out with the run and having great receivers that when you go to the team, you usually go pretty early. And when you do go to a team with a horrible O-line, a running back that can't run and receivers that can't catch,
You're like a fish out of water.
serious problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
I agree
I mean-
with you, bro. And honestly, I had to clap back at you some, man. Only because you're my friend. But yeah, it's you're not wrong in your statement though. Like Alabama quarterbacks coming into the league, and especially you're so right in the fact that they have so many tools at their disposal that when they come to a league where everyone is on the same playing field, you have to be the one that kind of takes that next step.
Well, I think we
Tim
talked about
Tebow,
it.
by the way.
What about him?
Come on, that's our claim to fame.
At the collegiate level, though, once he got to the NFL, that was and this is coming from a guy who really held out, not even hope. I thought that it was kind of a disservice with the winning ways that Tim Tebow would bring to teams and the fact that he would never really get that true fair shot.
Yeah.
Hey,
How is he not a
blocked
coach?
Pretty good as a tight end.
He will be. He'll end up being a coach. He's a great leader.
Yeah.
No doubt
I don't think
about
he'll
that.
be a coach. I don't think he'll be a coach, and it's not because he can't do it. It's because he focuses. So if you've ever heard him speak, his the playoff that he won, it had a lot of 3-16s in it.
Yeah.
A lot of stats and everything like that, and that really, and he didn't even notice it. So he was his And it had a lot to do. I won't tell the whole story here. I know y'all fixing to have to go to break, I'm sure. But
He can hire a guy to do that, though.
well, he had all that kind of he had missed all that because he was so focused in football. And I really think he doesn't necessarily say this, but I really think that deterred him from football because he saw it was getting in the way of what he really wanted to do, and that was spread the word. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to go back to it. I think he's just going to stick to what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's making a lot of money doing it. That's for sure. He's doing well as an analyst. He's doing well as a speaker, and spreading that word is his primary focus. And he's turned into a heck of a career doing it. That's for sure. Yes, Travis, we do have to take a break. When we get back, we'll be joined by Coach Jonah Hammond of the Arnold Marlins boys soccer team as they start their bid tomorrow for a run at the Class 5A boys soccer state championship. Travis, thanks for the call as always. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk football sometime down the road. You guys are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
This is Ryan from the Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida. Join me and Jay right here.
Listen weekdays for the greatest sports talk show of all time.
Maybe you're overselling it just a little.
The #1 sports talk show in the South.
Dial that down a little more, Jay.
Okay, how about this? The Inside Drive, weekdays 11 to 1, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the only sports talk show on in that time slot.
Nailed it.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Monday. For this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and mostly clouds and a high of 68 with a strong breeze at 20 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 48. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 60. Moving into Wednesday, about the same with a high of 63 and mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach want to help you make your dream kitchen a reality in 2024. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, they offer cabinets, countertops, flooring, and tile. Their cash and carry program offers Shaker White cabinets available the very next day. Call Kitchen Designs to make your dream come true. 850-775-4150.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue? And tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. That rejoiner song made me think of like growing up with like having the keyboards and you just got the drum set going and you're just kind of pressing the buttons on there trying to make it happen. Yeah, very much what it sounds like. But we are excited to have on the line, and I know they're excited because they start their state championship bid tomorrow at 7 p.m. at LeConto. We got Coach Jonah Hammond on the line. He's the varsity boys soccer coach over there at Arnold High School. Coach Hammond, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Always a pleasure to talk soccer with you. And I know you and the boys have got to be excited with that game coming up tomorrow. I'm going to ask a stupid question right off the get-go. How come it's an away game?
Well, we lost in a PK shootout in the district championship. So because of that, the way they have the rankings set up, they take the 8 highest ranked teams in the region and they place them 1 through 8. Well, we're the number 1 seed just based off where we're ranked in Florida and in the nation, and we're playing a district winner. And since we did not win our district, we got to travel for the first game. But the next 2 games would be at home.
Okay. Got it. That makes sense. Thank you for enlightening me on that. I think I've asked that question in previous, and David Hayes has given me the reason that. I think there was a similar situation that happened in the football side of things as well that we talked about a little while back. When we had you on the show a couple months ago, when the season was getting started, it was, the end goal for you guys being as good of a team as you are. I think, you guys are ranked either 1 or 2 in the entire nation right now?
Yeah, number 2 in the entire nation.
Which is pretty impressive. That is for darn sure. It's still state championship or bust?
Always.
I love it. I love it. So what's the message to the players? I was kind of thinking about this. You guys win a lot of games. A lot of these players you've had on these teams, you win a lot. How do you keep the players motivated when you're winning so much? I mean, obviously, you probably don't have to because they're all, just winners and excited to win soccer games. But you can see sometimes when a team wins a lot, it can sometimes you can lose a little bit of that focus because the winning just becomes the expectation. How are you keeping these kids focused through this state tournament?
Yeah, I think, for these boys, especially these seniors, they've won 82 games in their 4 years and only lost 4.
Wow.
So it's just kind of the culture we've built at Arnold. We know we're going to get everybody's best game, and we don't like to lose. We have kind of a saying where, we hate to lose more than we like to win. And so winning is something that we do. And when we lose a game, it's not supposed to happen. So we just don't want to feel that way. We've felt that, 4 times in the past 4 years, and it's not a good feeling. And so that's what kind of motivates these boys. We set out goals at the beginning of the year, and we're looking to reach that main goal of winning the state championship.
Oh, okay, Jay.
I was going to say, Coach, what kind of attributes do you feel like are leading you to wins? I mean, is it playing clean soccer? Is it what fundamental, I guess, do you guys do best in the game?
Well, I think for this team, we play together as a team. We have each other's back. Obviously, when it comes down to the way we play the game, it's something that these boys have trained with me for, 5-6 years now. And so they know what I expect of them. And, without giving away too much of what we do, it's just, we play very well as a team. A lot of possession, good on set pieces, and we're tough to beat because it's not just, we don't have just one person on our team that can score. Anybody can score at any given time, and I think that's what makes us hard to beat.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you said something before Jay asked the question about culture and, expectations, and you're getting everybody's best game every time they step out there on the field. And that's a powerful thing when it comes to a sports team. If you're getting everybody's absolute best effort every time they go out there to play, that is a very, very powerful thing. And it's just got to make you feel good as a coach, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does. I mean, look, these kids aren't professional athletes. Like, they have other things in their lives going on, besides soccer, with, the pressure to do well at school and whatever else is going on at home. And so, for them to do what they've done these past 4 years is a challenge. And it's a challenge for me as a coach to keep them, moving in that direction. And so, it's pretty awesome to see what they've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, no doubt. Been fun to be a part of. We feel like we're a part of it here in Bay County, and just when you have a program as good as y'all's, it just makes you feel good. It's exciting to have something like that to root for. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you real quick, Coach, how much of your time is spent, with maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders, just kind of, seeing the future at Arnold?
Yeah. I own Florida Roots Soccer School, and so I get to work with a lot of those kids year-round and kind of teach them the fundamentals, different concepts, the style of play that, if they end up going to Arnold, they will see. And then, a couple times this year, I took the Arnold boys soccer team to go support 2 of the beach schools, Breakfast Point and Surfside. We watched their final game and their championship game. So it's fun to see those players and see who's coming up through the pipeline and helping them grow and develop as players in the soccer school that we have. So from a coach's perspective, if you see a 6th grader, you can kind of foresee that player being one of your top 3, even as a 10, 11, 12-year-old. I don't know that I would go that far. I mean, you can tell definitely the players that have skill and have some promise for the future. But I think when they get to 7th, 8th grade, right around that 14 years of age is when you really see the development that they've the technical development they've had over several years of playing travel soccer, and you can kind of take get a good estimate right around, I would say, 8th grade moving into 9th, who's going to be special for you.
There you go.
I guess that's a bit older. So
yeah. I got a message, Coach, from Don Walton, who's listening to the show, and he was just singing your praises about how much you've done for the youth of Bay County, and mentioned that you coached his son Trey, and not only are you an awesome coach, but an outstanding guy as well. But told me to ask about the crossbar, the bets with the boys on the crossbar kicks. And he said it was a great story, so I'm gonna have to ask it.
Yeah, well, first of all, man, I love Don Walton. How's it going, buddy? I know you're listening. What a great guy. So a couple years ago, we started this crossbar challenge, and it started with a kid named Ridge Hatton. And his son, or not his son, but his brother is Stone Hatton, who's a senior on my team this year, and he's the captain. And so basically we take a ball, and from about 20, 30 yards away, you shoot, and the goal is to hit the crossbar. And so I've done that with several of the players, and the deal is if I win, I get to pick your haircut. And so right now I'm undefeated, and I think I've beat, 12 or 15 guys. So in fact, it's funny that he brings that up, because not yesterday at practice, but what was it? A couple days ago at practice, our starting keeper, Josh Chandler, decided he wanted to challenge me, and he will be getting a haircut here in the next couple days. So
nice.
So it's fun. There's a I think it was News Channel 7 did a story about it, and we had like 7 or 8 guys lined up at a place getting their haircut. So it's a fun time.
What's your go-to haircut, Coach? Because I see a lot of mops around around town. So I mean, you can easily change it to a rat tail, right?
So I've done that before. I had a guy get a little mohawk, and you ever seen the hair rats before?
Yes, yeah.
They did a little hair rat as a rat tail. I have to send you guys some of the pictures of these guys' hair. It's funny, but
that's awesome.
I mean, the haircut these days, I don't know what's going on with these kids. It looks like it was taking a pine cone and combing their hair with it, or
getting longer and longer and longer every day. It seems, that's for sure.
Or a balloon, and they've just rubbed it on the front of their hair. So
yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, that's just such a cool way. And I'm glad you shared that story. It's just another way to create a special bond between you and your players, and it builds that trust and camaraderie and all that good stuff. So do they have to challenge you, or are you able to challenge them?
A little bit of both.
Okay, cool.
After I won the first, 4 or 5, there's some guys that won't even. They're like, nope, and so I usually get the younger guys now. They're not as wise as some of the older guys.
Yep.
So, but they find out quick. Find out pretty quick.
That's funny. So, note to self, Jay, don't ever challenge Coach Hammond on a crossbar competition in a soccer goal. That is for sure.
Coach, we have some similarities. I take kids out on the golf course, and we play this little par 3 over the water, and I keep saying, I'm like, look, if I see a hole in one, I got to swim across the lake. So eventually I'm going to have to swim across the lake at some point. But in my swimming ability, I'm not quite sure yet. I don't know if I can make it or not. But,
is that hole 10?
No, we go from hole 3 tee box to 2 green.
Okay, yeah.
And it's about an 80-yard.
There's a lot of snapping turtles in that pond there. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Well, obviously coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. at La Conta. Where is that, by the way? I didn't do any research to find out where that was.
It's about an hour, maybe hour and a half south of Gainesville.
Oh, wow. Okay. So not real close, that's for sure. Got a little bit of a trip. So what's the schedule? What's the plans for today and tomorrow heading out there?
Yeah, we debated on going down today. I usually like to get there a day before, but we're going to head down early tomorrow morning and get down there, hopefully get there by 1 or 2, and do a little stretch, a little yoga session with the boys. And then we'll go over some film and get prepared for the game, and then let them go back in their rooms and relax. We wanted to feel as much like they're at home as possible, and so we'll stay in the hotel Tuesday night and come back Wednesday.
Nice. That'll be awesome. You were talking too earlier about some of the seniors on your team that have been on this team for 4 years, and you've won a state championship, you've lost in the state finals, and here you are starting another journey into the state championship. Who are some of the kids on the team that you really lean on, for leadership and keeping the kids motivated and focused and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I can name a lot of guys that have stepped up and been leaders, starting from our keeper in the back, Josh Chandler, and then going to Felix Reimer, who's a center back, who's played, some at some high level, MLS organizations in the youth academy there. Dominic Castellanos is another one, on through Cricket, Stone, Sander. Some of those senior guys, we just really lean on them. Hunter, Gavin, Josiah, and Landon. Those are all the seniors have really stepped up this year because they have a goal that they want to reach. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys set those goals high, and you've been sticking to them pretty good, that's for sure. But yeah, what and maybe this is because of what you have with Florida roots and all that stuff. But why do you think, especially here in Bay County, it seems like soccer on the boys' side is very, very strong? A lot of talented athletes in our area on the soccer side. Why do you think that is?
I think the sport's just growing in this area. Obviously, I'd like to say part of that reason is because of Florida roots. I know, coming from Panama City and growing up here and playing soccer here, there's a long history of soccer in this area and talented players that come from this area, and we've finally been able to put that together and have a high school team that's competing at the highest level, that's known statewide, nationwide. People know Arnold Soccer and some of the coaching courses. I've met coaches from down south, and they've heard about us, and so it's really cool. It's just a testament to what the boys have been able to do, growing up here. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you've certainly built a quote-unquote dynasty, as you could possibly say, with the runs that you guys have had these last 3 or 4 years, and excited to watch this one get started. What's the anything, and this is kind of probably a bad way to phrase it, but anything to worry about, essentially, with going down there and playing Lecanto? What do you know about their program?
Yeah, it's been a long time since they've been able to host a regional game. They were the lowest ranked team in our region. They beat the region, I guess the team in their district that we all felt was going to go to regionals. They snuck up on them in the district final and knocked them out, so gave them a chance to go. So, we don't take any team lightly. We know if we don't show up in the game of soccer, you can have 20 shots and not make one, and they can have one shot and make that, and you've lost the game. So, we know that everybody in regionals is going to be good. And so we've got to see video on them, study them, go over them, and we found some areas I think we can attack. And so we're going to go out there and do our best.
Coach, as you enter the off season, what are some things that you're going to focus on in the off season to get you prepared for yet another good season at Arnold?
Yeah, I think we're going to take one game at a time, and so try not to look ahead. At least that's what we want our boys to do, is focus on one game at a time. As coaches, we try to look ahead and make sure we're prepared, because there's such a quick turnaround. You play a game on Tuesday, and if we win that, we're playing at home on Friday. And so, I think everything we've done to get us prepared for the playoffs, we've done over the course of this season. I intentionally made us the hardest schedule we'd ever have, and it's, when you look at strength of schedule, max preps, it's one of the hardest schedules in the nation. Yeah. So we've got these boys battle tested, and now it's just to go out there and execute.
Yeah, so do what you know what to do, and just like the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs said, we know what to do. We just got to go out there and play. Yep. And you guys certainly. Is there a way? I know there's a lot of Arnold Soccer faithful that travel with you guys for sure, but is there a way to watch this one without being there in person?
I'm not sure if the other school is going to stream it.
Okay.
That's it's a possibility, because they have streamed most of their games on the NFHS network, and so we don't know yet. To be honest, I hope they don't, because
I don't want. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. I don't want that film being out there. We have that. We have that option at our school to have all of our games live, and I tell them, if they don't turn it off, I'm going to unplug it. So, it's yeah. So. It's a possibility, but we're not sure yet.
Gotcha. Cool. Sounds good. I know you guys do a real good job on your Facebook page there, keeping everybody updated, so we appreciate that. And we appreciate you joining us today on the Inside Drive, and obviously we'll be following your playoff run, and we'll keep everybody updated about where the games are, what time they are, and hopefully you guys make it to that championship game again and get the dub. That's for sure. Coach, we appreciate your time, and good luck tomorrow night.
Hey, appreciate it. One quick thing. You guys asked me about my 3 wishes last time. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I didn't expect to get the wish of Nick Saban retiring. So, man, I didn't even think of that one. But my prayers have been answered. So we're Auburn's coming. So
yeah, War Eagle. That is for sure. That's Coach Jonah Hammett with the Arnold boys soccer team. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about that Super Bowl 58. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdog.
I don't think that many fans really honestly care about these players making money, and they should be allowed to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. Now, with it being and I'm using the air quotes here, amateur sport, it shouldn't be pay to play. Yeah, there you go. But it should not be,
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Let your New Year adventures begin in a new Kia Sorento. Bill Bird Kia has a few new 2023 Kia Sorentos left, and they will not last long. You get the savings and drive away today. Now offering 0.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $2,122 per month per $1,000 finance for 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. Must see dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 3/4/24.
Sports fans, we love our teams, but let's talk real estate for a moment. Meet Berg Title, your trusted local real estate title and escrow company. Based in downtown Panama City, Berg Title knows the community inside out. They handle everything from title searches to escrow services with expertise. Honest, reliable, and here to make your real estate journey smooth. Remember, it's Berg Title. Call them at 850-250-2900. That's Berg Title, your partner for a worry-free real estate experience in Panama City and Panama City Beach.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh new start.
Locally sourced, farm to radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Always good to talk to Coach Hammond. He's a unbelievable soccer coach. Obviously, I mean, the proof is in the pudding on what Arnold Soccer has done over the last several years. But it's just really cool to have a high school sports team right here in our county that has been 1 or 2 in the nation kind of all season long. It's just it's just exciting to have that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll do that in football sometime. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Right.
We'll get you out there as special teams coordinator, and you'll make it happen. That's for sure. That's for sure. But obviously, in that first segment, I asked you your thoughts on the game and all that stuff. Yeah. But what do you think? Patrick Mahomes, 3 rings, 2 MVPs in 6 years, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. That's tied for second most. He's got 3 double-digit Super Bowl comebacks, which is the most ever. He's unfortunately done it twice to the Niners, so it's a little sad. But, you just never know.
Yeah.
You think when it's all said and done, he's the GOAT, better than Brady?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of over the weekend, I think, did Steph Curry hit like some three-pointer to win the game over the weekend? He's just one of those guys where you just want to give him the ball and just have him march downfield, and he's already proven it. I mean, he just and Brock will get there.
Oh,
I mean, he's already there. It just wasn't his time, I guess. But yeah, no, it was great to watch it. Like I said, it's a good football game, and hate that the season's over with, but all good things must come to an end.
That's right. It'll be back before we know it.
It will.
And you got the XFL and USFL merging into one league this year, so that'll be coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And your golf season's getting heated up. Masters in a couple months.
Yep.
All that good stuff. But yeah, David, what are your thoughts on the? And there's a lot to digest, of course. But what are your thoughts on the Super Bowl and how things kind of played out?
I mean, heck of a job by the 49ers to be there. It just seemed like unless you get 24 points ahead of Patrick Mahomes, it's like the further you get away from him, the scarier that he gets. 10-point lead at halftime, you might as well just go ahead and put your bets in.
You're never comfortable.
Patrick Mahomes is
You're never comfortable.
But yeah, kudos to the 49ers. Again, Kyle Shanahan it's just, I don't know if you were curious about the play calling last night.
We got away from the run.
Again.
And it's just like, and obviously CMC's not going to run for 10 yards every time he gets the ball in his hand. But he was clipping off some pretty good stuff, and we got away from. How many times last night did I yell, "Run the effing ball"? Probably too many times.
Yeah, 30? 30? Yeah.
He just gets away from it, and you just and to take a step back and, to criticize an NFL coach, and I was even saying it, like the pressure that you've got to feel to be able to make those calls that quickly, reacting to all this stuff going on. I get nervous calling flag football plays, and sometimes I have brain farts and can't think about what I need to do next, and that's just with youth kids playing flag football. And he's got that shadow over his head now because of Atlanta, now because of what happened 4 years ago against the Chiefs, and now, of course, what happened yesterday. But
well, and that's very fair, right? And we should try to approach every situation like I don't know it all, and like to be, an NFL coach would be totally different. And then we can also look at the reality of the track record.
Yeah.
And that's where the issue is like every time that you get in a lead, and people see, here's my issue. People will be like, oh, well, he's he should be trying to win the game instead of not losing the game. That is what you do when you pass the ball late in the game rather than running the game. Yeah. So they are employing exactly what it is
They're
that you want to see them
sides.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
But when they do that, they lose the game by leaving time on the clock.
Yep.
So that's kind of my thing is like, no, brother, like let's run the ball even when it doesn't seem like it's working, because once you put yourself, when you're leaving time on the clock, I'm curious as to that. The whole overtime issue, the rules are the rules, right? Like, so whatever I say has no bearing on this, but why would you have, and it doesn't matter, all of these conversations coming against overtime don't even need to be answered, right, about how overtime played out because they scored while there was still time on the clock.
Yeah.
But why would you ever put a time on something? If you're going to put a time and say that we're playing the first quarter of overtime, then put the first quarter of overtime. If I see anything with time remaining and the clock's hit 0, then that means that the game has expired. We don't get to a position in the fourth quarter and say, here we go. Once the time runs out, though, you're still in your possession.
Yep.
You're still in your possession. Like, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
No.
So I don't know.
When they had 3 timeouts in overtime, right? And I think Bill had mentioned
two
that
overtime.
Was there 2
timeouts? Two timeouts in overtime. Yeah.
At one point, it was 1, right? 1 timeout. I
think regular season is 1.
That might make sense too. That or not make sense. That might be 2 and
not 100%. But I think that there is a difference in timeouts between regular season and the playoffs as well. But just and kind of like what we were talking about with the kids in the All-Star game, they make good plays. Sometimes the ball just doesn't bounce in your direction, and took twice back in 2012.
I'm wrong. Jay's right.
3.
It's 3. Is it
3
in postseason, and it's 2 in the regular
season. Got it.
There you go.
Interesting. And it's 15 minutes versus 10 minutes too, right? It's a full quarter.
Yeah.
But man, I was hoping they would just kick a field goal and we do it one more time. How about the point total hit exactly?
47.
25-22. Hits the total exactly.
And one of my bets, I had 48 plus for total points. So, I mean,
and they don't have to kick the extra points.
That's right.
So all that good stuff. But but yeah, a lot of people were asking me like, what do you like on the total? I was like, I don't bet totals very often just because I don't. If you bet the under, you don't like seeing people score and make stuff happen. And if you bet the over, you get like frustrated because you're trying to come on, score, make stuff happen. Yeah. So I stay away from that. But I did say, I was like, if I were to bet it though, I would definitely take the under. And then of course it pushes, which is just wild with how low scoring the game was really until it's pretty much low scoring the entire time. I mean, 47 total points isn't a lot, but
you know who had to love that Super Bowl more than anyone else?
Who's that?
Coach Manley, dude. Was that not a kicker's dream?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Two records set in one game.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, there's only one record now, but record was broken and then broken again by Harrison Butker. And I really thought that was going to be the difference, was how good Butker was versus Moody. But Moody's really good from 50-plus. He just sucks from 30 to 45, which is really weird. He hit a 55-yarder and a 53-yarder, and then, of course, the extra point that was blocked proved to be very, very large, but I still think the muffed punt situation proved to be larger. But we do have a caller on the line, and that's Lynn Haven. Rob, how are you doing today?
He's no longer on the line.
He is no longer. Well, Rob, give us a call back. We're here. We are ready for you. But yeah, no, just the, I never felt comfortable. I was talking to my dad quite a bit during that game last night. And every time we'd have a 3 and out, every time we'd stop them and get the ball back, we're like, we got to go score points. like David said, you could be up 24 against Mahomes and still not feel comfortable about them coming back. And he just finds ways to do it. And I thought the defense just did a lot better job than I thought they were going to do going into that game, especially getting pressure on Mahomes, but getting pressure on Mahomes and actually getting him down or forcing throwaways and stuff like that. Obviously, he scrambled a little bit in the end of the game on that last drive to make some stuff happen, but...
So the defining moment to you, like Jake Moody, he got that one blocked, right? Was that an extra point? That was an extra point.
That was an extra point.
Yeah.
But that was after the muff punt situation. The muff punt happened before that.
That was defining.
Kansas City scored literally on the next play. Yeah. And then I was proud of the Niners and Brock to go all the way down the field, with some pretty crazy good plays and score a touchdown. And then, of course, the extra point gets blocked. And you're like, crap, let's hope that doesn't come back to bite us. And you could say that it did, but you could also, anything could happen in a football game. So you can't say that lost them the game. But I can say if they just receive that punt like normal, even if they go 3 and out again, that takes more time off the clock. Kansas City doesn't, because at that point, I think it was 10-6, because they went up 13-10 at that point, which Kyle Williams, he muffed that punt against the Ravens in the Super Bowl back in 2012, and they scored. We were winning at that point too, and they scored.
Dude, all of your losses in the Super Bowl, like in the last 3 Super Bowls for the Niners, have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, because you're winning.
The lights get turned out on.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's like the hotel fire alarm.
Yeah, there you go.
Same song, different verse.
That's right. That's right. But the good news is, I think we found our quarterback, like I said earlier. So at least we can, because we actually have some draft picks this year coming up, which is exciting. We have a lot of draft picks because we got a lot of those compensatory picks for coaches getting hired and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, now Brock Purdy can buy him a house now in San Francisco, right? I mean, he got a pay raise, I'm sure.
Well, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
But he did hit a lot of incentives, and like as a team, when you make it to the Super Bowl, each player on the team gets, I think it was $75,000, or may have been more for the Super Bowl. I think the NFC Championship might have been $75,000.
Because he's rooming with somebody.
Yeah, he's rooming with one of his buddies. Yeah, absolutely, trying to save money.
Yeah,
which is wild.
That is wild.
Yep, and you're a quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminds me a little bit about when Rory McIlroy hit it way left on number 10 at Augusta, and collapsed and ended up losing the Masters. I've always said you've got to lose a big one first before you can learn how to win a big one, unless you're Patrick Mahomes. Although he has lost a couple of Super Bowls. That's what's crazy, too. It's very similar to the Patriots, right? The Patriots won a bunch of Super Bowls, but they also lost a bunch of Super Bowls, too. And Kansas City's won 3, but what have they lost 2 Super Bowls, or they only lost 1? Have they lost 2, David?
Well, I think only 1
to the Bucks, which is ironic to Brady. But their offensive line was absolutely decimated in that game, and that made a huge difference. That's for sure.
We had talked about Caleb Williams months ago. I don't know why it's still in my mind about his dad not wanting him to go to like a low NFL team, right? Like he's got to learn to lose.
Yeah.
But unless you're Patrick Mahomes, but I'm sure. I mean, Kansas City's not going to stay on the mountain for many more years, I don't think.
I think they will.
You think so?
Yeah. I think you're going to see a few more Niners Chiefs Super Bowls in the next 5 years for sure.
I would not be surprised.
And according to Vegas, which obviously is where the Super Bowl happened, the odds for the Super Bowl next year, you've got the Niners leading it at plus 550. You got the Chiefs at plus 650. Then you got the Ravens and the Bills. The Ravens are at plus 900. The Bills are at plus 950. The Lions are at plus 1200. That might be a nice little future drop there to do it on there. Bengals at plus 1200. Then the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Packers, the Cowboys round out the top 10 there, with the Packers, the Eagles, and the Cowboys all being plus 2,000 to win the Super Bowl next year, with the Dolphins being plus 1,700. But yeah, I know we do have Keith Fleming on the line. But Keith, we are going to we got a break in about a minute, so we'll probably just hold you over until we get into that next segment, and we'll talk a little bit about your thoughts on the Super Bowl and everything going on and that kind of stuff. It's a great job by the Chiefs defense. That second half, they brought the heat. They blitzed a lot. And like I was telling you in the car ride over here earlier on that one play, when they went on to kick that, I think it was the 53-yard field goal to go up by 3 at that point. There was a 3rd and 4 that they brought their nickel back on a unblocked blitz and just got right to Brock Purdy really quick. And I think the pass was intended to go to Juwan Jennings and ended up being incomplete. And, they don't do that nickel blitz. They get that first down. Who knows? But Spags called a great game. They blitzed a ton. They got a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, and that's what they needed to do. They shut him down in the second half and came back and won in overtime.
It was entertaining.
Oh, it was very, again, if you had no skin in the game, it was quite a Super Bowl to watch. That is for sure. We'll talk a little bit later on as well about all those results from the prop bet. I think it was Purple Gatorade, wasn't it? It got dumped on Andy.
Was it?
Which I think was a higher odds prop bet as well. But you guys are listening to the Inside Drive. We're going to take our top of the hour break. When we get back, Keith Fleming will be on the line. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl. We'll be right back.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Monday. For this afternoon and evening, likely thunderstorms and mostly clouds and a high of 68 with a strong breeze at 20 miles per hour out of the west. Tonight, some clouds with lows around 48. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 60. Moving into Wednesday, about the same with a high of 63 and mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida, War Eagle.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
For the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along the Forgotten Coast. You can watch us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. While you're doing that, give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, retweet, repost, whatever it's called. Just do all those things for us. We'd appreciate it very much. And then go into your phone and go into either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and download our free mobile app. We do have a caller on the line, our normal Wednesday DFS action gentleman, and that is Keith Fleming. Keith, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Ryan. This is kind of a support system, as I was telling you. As a Falcons fan, I've been through a lot of these losses. They never get easier.
Nope.
But I'm here for you, man.
We appreciate
and if you
it.
want to talk it out, I'm your guy.
It's tough. And you, that's the thing is, like, especially when I was watching the game, you just, and you could probably relate to it, you just never feel comfortable. You never feel confident that it's going to go your way.
It's worse than that. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, you do.
Yeah.
You just, until you see otherwise, you get into this, like, sad routine of just, we're going to blow it, and then it's like you almost will it or, dream it into reality. It's awful.
Yeah. Did Romo have anything to do with this at all, or no?
Tony?
No. Yeah, Tony. We're not going to bring Tony into it.
I don't want to talk about Tony.
Okay.
But what do you think? What do you think about what are your takes? Obviously, with no skin in the game in the Super Bowl, awesome football game for just football fans and a kick fest, that was for sure. I think 7 total field goals were made in that game. But what are your thoughts overall on the Super Bowl?
Well, the first is just, it's official. You do not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Nope,
ever.
Can't.
In the playoffs, like, until he shows otherwise. I think the same for the Chiefs. As a future bet, you can get them right now for plus 750 to win next year. Like, you should take that bet probably every year. I think it was 6-1 at the beginning of the season. If you'd have listened to David Hayes, you would have known you could have got them, I think, from 10 to 12-1 before the playoffs started to win the Super Bowl. You just don't bet against them. But I really think this Super Bowl is, like, the Chiefs defense and Spags is not getting enough credit. It's the 4th Super Bowl that Spags has won at the DC. It's a record for an assistant coach. They had a season high last night, the Chiefs did, of unblocked pressures, all on blitzes.
Yep.
So that is the DC. That's Spags coming up with a great blitz that confused the 49ers. And the defense carried them this entire season. They did not give up 30 points this entire year. And whenever they really needed that Chiefs D, they stood up, because the Niners had a ton of opportunities, particularly in the first half, to kind of take control of this game. We had talked about that I felt like if the Niners could get up 2 scores, the Chiefs were in trouble, because that's not how they're built to play from behind. And I know they had it briefly at 10, but with it being 7 at the half and Mahomes getting the ball, it was not a great situation. And then the final takeaway I have is, overall, Shanahan, I don't think deserves too much, blame. I don't think he made a lot of huge blunders. I wasn't crazy about the play calling. I'd like to see more rush attempts for Elijah Mitchell, maybe some design runs for Brock Purdy. But I really do have an issue with taking the ball in the overtime. I understand this is the first time that we've ever had that situation with the current rules as they are. But why would you not want to know what you have to do? Because you're going to get a possession no matter what. And the other thing, it's like what I was talking on the text chain this morning, you get 4 downs then to do it. So if the Chiefs say they scored a touchdown, you have 4 downs on every one of those plays going down the field to try to get that tying touchdown to try to tie the game. For instance, they went down, and kicked a field goal on 4th and 3 from close, which was probably the right decision. But if the Chiefs would have scored the touchdown first, you'd also had the chance to go for it there and tie the football game.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually surprised thinking about the 4th and 3 earlier, where they went for it and got it on that pass to Kittle. I don't know if it was a 4th and 3. I think it was a 4th and 3, but
that was a great call.
I was baffled he actually called that. Obviously, like you said, it looks better when you actually execute it and make it happen. But at that point, with kind of the way the game was going, I figured you're going to take another field goal. But then he calls it and goes for it. I actually, to be honest, thought they were just going to try to draw him off sides and call a timeout. And then when they snapped it, I was like, holy crap! And then they got it, and I was like, okay, maybe this game is going to go our way. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no, definitely interesting. And I was listening to some of the interviews this morning about Kyle and why he decided to take that ball. And, we talk about analytics all the time, and I think analytics do get in the way a lot of times in these games. And he was kind of saying, like, if we both score, we'd have the 3rd possession, because you each get you're guaranteed 1 possession each. But then once you each have a possession, and if you each score, that 3rd possession, a field goal wins the game. So I think that's where his head was at, which is a gamble. Everything's a gamble.
If you're going to do that, why not go for it and then go for 2, right?
Yeah.
Like in that situation.
Yeah.
To me, it's just, at least you know what you have to do compared to the other. And it's, Andy Reid is a conservative coach as well. So if you could have maybe stopped them, I don't know if the Chiefs go for it, right, on 4th and short in a field goal situation or a punt situation. because Reed is one of the most conservative coaches in the NFL as well.
Yeah, you mean if they had the ball first?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
No, I was just going to ask, when did we start calling it the big game? I mean, I don't understand.
Forever.
It's been called
Has
the
it
big
been?
game for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Never mind.
Because we're not supposed to say what it's actually called.
Right. That's exactly what
Is that kind of like the Waste Management Open? Similar to that?
It's the big game.
The Waste Management Open?
The Wasted
It used to be
Management.
called trash back in the day, but it's called
Man,
Waste Management now.
They stopped serving alcohol, guys. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
You had to be pretty rowdy. I heard somebody fell out of the stands. That's actually what caused that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I saw that as well. Saw a lot of different things. We're going to talk about that maybe a little bit later on, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, pretty wild stuff coming out of there. And I think 4 PGA Tour players got into it with
Zach Johnson trying to start a fist fight with somebody, telling them not to call him sir.
Yeah.
Or that sir crap, I believe, is the exact term we use.
Billy Horschel, Jordan Spieth, a couple, one
You
other
know what
guy
I
too.
say? Win a Ryder Cup, and then they won't echo you.
Yeah.
And I think it's justified.
Yeah.
I like
No,
it.
I'm saying.
No, I
do.
get it. I get it. That lift tour
I
is
think
not
that's
looking
what
so
most
bad
of it
right
was,
now.
from what I heard. Was that they were giving them a lot of grief about the Ryder Cup,
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, you did a terrible job as coach. Like that's the fact.
Yep. Can't handle it. Don't take the captaincy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly.
It's wild for sure. What you got, Jay?
No, I just thinking just how these guys go in, back to the Waste Management, I guess, but just how they do this every day and how they can't zone this stuff out. I don't get it. I mean, I really
You have to be quiet when you're hitting it, and stuff, right? Like it's not like they're yelling in your downswing.
Yeah. I mean, they were being pretty rambunctious. Were they? But
yeah.
Oh no, it was lit for sure.
But I mean, that's what they created with this event. And
Right.
there's a lot of people saying, have they lost
agree.
control of the Waste Management Phoenix Open? When you make it a booze fest, I mean, people go there that don't even care about golf. They're just going there for the party.
Yeah.
And, and the Waste Management, I mean, the way that course is designed is you have a lot of slopes and a lot of things that are designed for people to be able to view the golf course. And when you get a little bit of rain and a lot of alcohol, your equilibrium's not so good. There's a lot of people
Ryan,
that
it
hate
is
it.
definitely responsible as a tournament and the tour, though, because look at Augusta, right? Like, that's one of the things I always tell people when you go there. You can get kicked out for yelling the smallest thing
No.
that is considered controversial or wrong.
Yep.
And not only will you get kicked out, if you have somebody's ticket, they can lose their ticket.
For life, yep.
I mean, I blame the people running the tournament. You can't create a monster and then be like, oh, my God, this monster's out of control. It's like you created it.
Yeah, because they not only stopped selling alcohol on Saturday, but they stopped letting people in too on Saturday,
Yeah.
or was that Sunday? That was both on Saturday.
I believe it was Saturday. Oh, was it Sunday?
I don't
thought
know.
it was Saturday.
I don't know. I just know that two things happened: stop selling booze and stop letting people into the gates. First time they ever had
Yeah.
to turn people away.
And the other thing is this lift, clean, and place thing. They've got to get rid of this lift, clean, and place. They got to, I mean, I think it's the beauty. I was reading up on this morning a little bit. Believe it or not, I was reading. I know.
Big day.
But if you've got mud on
proud
the,
of you, Jay.
if you've got mud on the left side of your golf ball, it's going to make the ball go right. And I think that's the beauty of golf is, they're professionals. They've got to learn to figure out how much mud is on the ball, what's it going to do. And I mean, that lift, clean, and
So you
place.
saying against it altogether or just the fairway?
Well, look,
'Cause, to me, in the fairway, you should be able to move it. But I agree with you. If you hit it in the rough, tough, you shouldn't hit it in the rough.
Did they play
Without
lift, clean,
staying in
place
water.
through the green?
Yep.
Not just in your own fairway?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's right.
golf is a game of imperfection, and we do, as a society, we do it. We try to make it so perfect. I mean, the grass is perfect. Everybody's got their, shirts tucked in perfectly. I mean,
Not
like
if you go to
everything is
Canada,
perfect.
Jay.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true.
Not on that live tour.
Right. But it's
the PGA Tour's just trying to be the live tour. That's all.
Right.
That's all that's happening. They saw how much fun everybody
In
was
this
having.
situation, they are.
Yeah. They took it a little further, actually, which is wild. But how about that final pairing on Sunday at the live tour?
Who was it?
Yeah, how about Ron flipping out?
Yeah.
That was, to me, the funniest thing. It's like, dude, you signed up for this.
Yeah. Yep. You took the bag of cash. You got to know what to expect.
Who was the final pairing?
It was DJ, DeChambeau, and do you remember who else it was, Keith? You probably did.
Ron was one back in the group. I can't believe I'm blanking on it, but it was like basically 5 of their best 6 players. Cam Smith was right there. It was a really good event. The coverage is still awful. They've got to figure out the TV coverage. But I watched a good bit of it. Like I'll admit, I checked out a lot more than I have in recent weeks.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. He was right there at Vegas, too. A lot happening in Vegas this past weekend.
Yes,
that's
it
for
was.
sure. A lot of good stuff, too. A lot of action at the Sphere. I was telling people last night, Keith, that you had visited the Sphere and how awesome of an experience that you said it was. So I got to get out
incredible.
there just to see the Sphere.
Definitely something I recommend. No matter what the show is there, just go check it out. It'll be really cool.
It's a pretty neat piece of technology, that is for sure.
Can we talk about your boy Brock real quick?
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I was really impressed by him.
He took a beating yesterday, that's for sure.
You can't, to go toe-to-toe with Mahomes and have your team, right there with a chance to win the game when, CMC had a good game, but was, kind of, limited on both plays. Not a lot of huge plays outside of the touchdown. And I just thought Brock was really good. The big thing, he didn't turn it over, which that's what everybody was talking. I thought everybody's favorite bet this week was Brock to throw a pick, right? Like you have Chiefs paid money line and Brock to throw an interception, get pretty good odds. And he did, I thought a great job protecting the ball, a great job of making plays. And again, I do feel like Shanahan kind of let him down. I don't understand why Ayuk was not more involved. They seem to have a system that they're going to run no matter what.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like you have these dudes, if it's not working on the downfield plays for Kittle and Ayuk, let's try to get them the ball, closer to the line of scrimmage and try to create some space for them, do some different things because they're elite athletes. And it really stinks when, what did they combine for? I think they combined for 6 catches for 53 yards and they only saw 9 targets.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings was the star of the receiving corps, and maybe
the MVP, right? If the game goes without going into overtime,
he might have. Yeah, 1-for-1, perfect quarterback rating on that pass. I was telling everybody last night too. I was so close on taking the non-quarterback touchdown pass prop.
What were the odds on that?
Like
one?
plus 5,000. I was like, if there was a game that this was going to happen where you have Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan that love to throw in trick plays in there, and I didn't pull the trigger. The only bet I won was Brock Purdy over rushing because I think it was 11.5 when I got.
Yeah, that was the gift too. We got 12. How about Jennings too? I thought a great stat that they gave during the game. 25 catches this year, 17 have gone for a first down or a touchdown.
Yep.
Like, that's pretty impressive.
He's third and Juwan for a reason.
Brock, trust him. Yeah.
Yep.
But I think Brock, the Niners are in a good place. I don't totally understand why they're the Super Bowl favorites over the Kansas City Chiefs this morning, but they are.
Because the NFC is an easier path, I think.
Is it, though? I mean, I wonder about next year because the Lions are going to be a lot better. I think the Packers are another team on the rise. And just to kind of bring it full circle, this Chiefs team, that is the youngest average age defense ever to play in a Super Bowl. They now have a Super Bowl victory, and we've seen that Mahomes can win with, an aging Kelsey, Pacheco, and a bunch of receivers that you don't trust. The scary thing is they're probably going to get better on the offensive side of the ball, and that defense is very young, very talented, and I unfortunately have a feeling this Chiefs team is going to basically be exactly what the Patriots were, for a 10-year stretch for the next 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like it, that's for sure. Yeah, I was looking at the box score where you're talking. I didn't realize that Mahomes led the Chiefs in rushing with 66, and he had that 122-yard. That was either, I can't remember, at the end of the regular time in the fourth quarter.
He had one big one at the end of regulation and then one big one in overtime, which, again, just shows that when he needs it, he's just so good, and he deserves so much credit for, he's not the gunslinger that he was when he first came in the league. I thought Romo, again, did a great job pointing out there was a play, I think it was late in the fourth, where he looked like he was going to take a shot down the field, and Romo believed that pass might have been intercepted. Instead, he checked it down. They got a first down a play later, and he's not taking risk. And if Mahomes doesn't take risk, I mean, the league's in so much trouble because they're so freaking good.
Yep. Yeah, and You know, a couple times, I mean, obviously he did have that one interception that we just couldn't ever capitalize when they did make mistakes. Obviously, that one fumble was crucial because they had just had a huge 50-yard pass completion, which one of the safeties, if he would have been paying attention, should have intercepted that. But also, I thought Jair, I mean, don't forget, Jay, we didn't have Taliana Hafunga this year because he tore his ACL in one of the first games of the season. We get him back
the injury
next year.
to your boy coming, the linebacker,
Greenlaw.
I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sucked.
that's the kind of stuff where I'm just like, how can people be riding around on roller skates at halftime during the halftime performance, and you got a professional athlete just has the bad luck that he, tears something basically running onto the field to celebrate.
Yeah.
Is the schedule already out for next year? Or
the teams that
They
you're
have
playing is out.
But yeah.
It's usually sometime in, I think, early May, late April, early May, right after the draft.
But you know who you're playing.
Yeah, but you know your home and away opponents. Yeah,
I got you.
Yep.
Falcons in Vegas. We should all go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I know the Niners got Tampa and Miami this year coming up. So 2 games in Florida. Just got to figure out which one to go to.
You got that right.
That's all.
Miami, come on. Would you rather go to Tampa or would you rather go to Miami, Ryan?
That's true. It's just a lot further to get to Miami, that's for sure.
It is, but come on, vacation in Miami with Beth sounds like fun to me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Liam will be running around on South Beach trying to pick up chicks.
You might lose Liam.
That's true. He might not come back with us.
A movie star or something, yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's crazy that the season has come to an end, and now everybody will be talking about the draft coming up and who's going to get what if somebody. I think the Bears trade that pick. They're asking a lot for it. I know that, but hopefully, I just think Justin Fields is. Who are they going to put in Chicago that's going to be better than Fields? I was talking to a Bears fan the other day, and they were talking about Caleb Williams.
You think they're going to pass on Williams? I think they still end up picking him.
No, I think they pass because I think they know what they've got with Fields. And Caleb, obviously, you know what he did in college, but how many in the last 5 years, how many of these top 10 quarterback draft picks have not panned out? I just think if they can get the capital they want for that pick, if they can get several other ones, they'd be stupid not to.
Wouldn't you worry, though? You passed on Mahomes for Trubisky. And if Caleb Williams, who is the first guy that's been compared to Mahomes that I've seen, I'm not saying that people are saying he's going to be Patrick Mahomes, but they're saying a lot of the same skills that we see in Patrick, Caleb Williams has. It would be a very scary thing for me if I was in the front office or ownership that we could potentially pass on both of these guys if, say, Caleb Williams ends up becoming just like, say, C.J. Stroud or something, which would be incredible.
Yeah. No, pretty crazy, and that's why those guys get paid a lot of money to make those decisions because those are tough.
And they have no idea, just like we don't, right?
It's a crapshoot. It's a gamble.
40-50%, yeah.
You could watch as much film and interview and talk and go to the combine and all that good stuff, but until they start playing on Sundays, you really don't know what's going to happen. And then on the flip side of that, you could find a guy like a Brock Purdy there late in the draft or a Tom Brady or whatever it may be. And Dion had an interview, and he's like, I want a Brock Purdy. He's like, I need to go find a Brock Purdy for Colorado.
You got to take a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
He could be a dud.
Yep, could be a stud or a dud.
A stud or a dud.
Just depends on what's going on. Any final thoughts, Keith, before we got to jump to a break?
No, I was just going to say I didn't want to call in and pull a Travis and start talking about the Atlanta Falcons the day after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but love you, Travis. Just kidding. I do want to say, though, we're pivoting hard to golf. I'm already doing research. The article will be up by Tuesday, and I can't wait on Wednesday to talk about the Genesis.
There we go. There we go. Charlie Hoffman did not get an invite to play in that tournament.
Really?
Like that's some controversial topic or something like that. I don't know.
If he wouldn't have wore green yesterday.
Welcome to golf, right? That's controversial. That's all I love about golf.
Yep.
That's the kind of controversy we have in golf when there's not live PGA stuff going on.
That's true. That's true. Not getting an invite. Charlie Hoffman is sponsored by Waste Management and always seems to be in contention at the Waste Management Phoenix Open. I don't know how that works, but he seems to be doing a good job with that. But Keith, we appreciate your call, and we are very much looking forward to talking on Wednesday about golf as we pivot with some big-time tournaments coming up next month. Players Championship, followed by the Masters, that first full week in April. And we'll look forward to that. Keith, appreciate you giving us a shout. Go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say, Ryan, you're going for the 4 majors in a row on our picks, right? On our podcast with Alan?
Probably.
Yeah, because you won Masters.
I don't think we did Masters.
No,
we didn't do a Masters.
That's
so
right.
He's gonna have his own Tiger Slam, basically, is what he's going to have when he probably wins Augusta.
The Ryan Slam.
Augusta's the one I feel I know the most about, too. I just have a very close
Just remember,
relationship.
Ryan, I'm here for you. I've been through these losses. So we need to start a support group. Falcons, Niners, Bills fans. We got to stay together.
There's just no Cowboys fans allowed, that's all.
Forget that. No, they think they're in the group with the Chiefs and them anyway. So,
That's true.
That is such a good point.
Oh, Keith. Well, we appreciate your call, man. Have a great rest of your Monday, and look forward to talking soon.
Absolutely. David, Jay, Ryan, love the work, man. Keep it up.
Thank you,
Thank you,
too,
Keith.
man. Go follow Keith Fleming out there on X, at Keith Fleming, 2 M's in the Fleming. When we get back, Jay, I'm going to give you all the results of all the prop bets for all the different crazy things and the players and all that good stuff. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Monday. Likely thunderstorms and mostly clouds the remainder of the day with a strong breeze coming out of the west around 20 miles per hour and look for it to be 67. Tonight there will be some clouds with the temperature reaching 48. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 60. Wednesday will have a high of 63 and mostly sunshine. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs.
Visit their new location, Highway 77, south of Tractor Supply.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Coming in hot.
So hot.
It'll be a hot one. Really hot.
God damn.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, Jay, got a lot of fun stuff to go over. Real quick, before I do that, I will go over our Pick'em real fast because I will forget to update that if I don't. So David Hayes got off to a hot start. He was 4 for 4 in the first 4 games, but then went 1 for 6 in the last 6 games with getting the Bama win. I don't know why Auburn hasn't beaten Florida in Gainesville since 1996. I bet on them and picked them in our Pick'em. I'm such an idiot. Like, those trends matter.
Yeah.
Those trends matter for sure, and they got blown out by Florida.
Auburn's having a tough time on the road this year. You wonder how that's going to affect them when they get in the tournament.
This happens basically every year. Yeah. They have a really good record at home, a not so great record on the road, and then when they get to the tournament, they end up losing to a team that they shouldn't be losing to.
Bruce Pearl took like a fist or something to one of those tables, didn't he? It seems like I saw that.
He's a feisty fella.
Feisty.
He is feisty, that is for sure. But yes, we had Devils Hurricanes, and I did watch that game. I was the only one that picks the Devils. It was not very often you have 1-0 overtime games in the NHL anymore with all the new rules. Devils just couldn't get it past Kucherov.
Can't be Kucherov.
No, not it's something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's not Kucherov. Yeah, he's a Lightning defenseman?
Yeah, no. He's a right winger. Winger. We'll call him a winger. Because he'd be all over the ice.
That's true. That's true. So Devils lost that one 1-0 in overtime. They played great. They just couldn't get it past the netminder for the Hurricanes. I thought it was cool the Hurricanes were wearing the old Hartford Whalers jerseys.
Oh, nice.
Which was kind of neat.
I don't know what that is, but
it was the franchise of the Hurricanes before they moved to Carolina. It was the Hartford Whalers up there in Hartford, Connecticut.
We have this like really cool thing now where like when we don't know something, we can like know it real quick.
It's wild. And you don't even have to use your fingers. You could just say it.
Right. Yeah, you can just say it. Yeah.
She's usually pretty responsive too.
Siri.
There we go. Hey Siri.
What are the Hartford Whalers? She's not listening.
Yeah.
She's not.
Like Joanna.
I'm going to pull you up a picture, though. It's just retro jerseys.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
They came out with some cool warm-ups, too. It was pretty neat. But anyway, the next game we picked, we did do the Lightning and the Blue Jackets. All three of us picked the Lightning in that one, and the Lightning won that game 4-2 on Saturday. And then Kraken and at the Flyers. Two of us picked the Kraken. One of us, Jay, look at the screen back there. See how he did that?
Oh yeah.
So those are pretty good looking though, because like the Hurricanes are red, black, and white, and so especially as a fan, you see something like that, it's like, all right, let's go, and gives you another reason to spend that money.
Yeah,
baby.
That's all it is. It's all marketing and merchandising. That is for sure.
Looks like some wings up top.
It's a
with
whale.
It's a whale tail.
Oh, it's a whale tail. Okay, yeah.
Not the whale tail you're used to.
Right.
Hartford Whalers. They went out there, and it's like like a Boston whaler, right? The type of boat. They were the Hartford Whalers up there in Connecticut.
Yes.
Connecticut.
Well, wouldn't these ones be like killing the whales?
Yeah, it's not good.
I mean,
that's why they switched.
Free Willy.
Free Willy. Orcas. I don't think they were getting orcas. I don't know what kind of whales they were going after.
Probably all of them.
Probably. The oil. Something with the oil. Sorry.
How about the humpback whale that was just offshore here? What, about a year ago? Do you remember that huge one?
Oh, that was a blue whale.
Oh, was it?
Yep. Largest sea mammal.
What's your favorite whale?
Ooh,
my favorite animal overall is the killer whale.
We knew that. We've had this conversation before.
And there's no killer instinct at all, right?
Oh, they're very dangerous.
They can
be.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, I'm not being sarcastic.
You're being sarcastic, ain't you, Jay?
Huh?
You're being sarcastic.
The killer whale does not have killer mentality.
Yes, it does.
Y'all are
apex
predator.
It is. It'll go after
predator.
seals and sea lions and all that.
I was born at night, not last night.
I am being 100% serious.
Really?
You need to watch a documentary on killer whales, and you'll find all out about. You probably also think hippos aren't dangerous too.
No.
Hippos kill more people annually than like some other crazy statistic. Hippos are extremely dangerous.
Do they just stomp on you?
They get you with their big old hungry hippos. That game was around for a reason.
Great one.
That is a real depiction of what hippos do to human beings in Africa. They chomp them up. They're aggressive. Very, very aggressive.
That's crazy.
So are rhinos. Gotta be careful.
Kind of the same family, I would think.
Yeah. I don't know what the genus and the species and all that stuff is, but anyway, getting back to our picks, then we picked 3 NBA games. We had the Thunder at the Mavs, and only one of us picked the Mavs. 2 of us picked the Thunder. Very similar to the Kraken and the Flyers, and that was David Hayes. And the Mavs won that one handedly, I believe, by at least 20 points in that one.
Did I take the Mavs in that one? Oh, I thought I took the Thunder.
Well, I wrote down Mavs.
Yeah, no, I probably did.
You got it. But yes, and then Suns at Warriors. Me and David picked the Suns.
Yeah.
You picked the Warriors, and they won by a point, Jay. So you got the dub on that one.
That's the buzzer beater that
Jay was talking about.
Yeah.
See, there you go. You watched some NBA yesterday.
There are no documented cases anywhere of a wild killer whale killing a human.
Nobody said anything about killing a human.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm sorry.
That's what I said. They kill sea lions.
What about when they're, contained at there's been issues at SeaWorld where the trainer has become fish food.
Yeah. Nom nom.
And they do ram yachts and stuff like that, especially when they think that they're trying to come in on
this
their
guy knows
territory.
killer whales, so you can't mess with him.
And then when I watched Blackfish, that's a good movie too about them. Yeah, dude, I like my killer whales.
Free Willy softened the killer whales what's that called?
Perception?
Perception, yes, thank you. Yes, it softened it for there. Same thing with Flipper, although dolphins are very nice.
Yeah, we don't.
Dolphins.
Hey, they'll help you with some sharks, though, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Dolphins are good to keep around.
Yes, sir.
And we got a lot of dolphins right here in beautiful Panama City Beach, and that is for sure. It's cool to see them in the wild.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's kind of like the Jets flying over. We got the Jets and we got the Dolphins. Like, and then there's your AFC Championship next year.
We're ready for a football game all the time.
All
around
the
this
time.
way.
That's it.
That's great.
Right here in Bay County. That's funny.
That's a good one.
It just came out. That's all.
I give you 100.
No,
for sure. Maybe we'll go like the kids in flag football, 110%, 120%.
And only go 100.
Show me your very best.
I like that though. What Coach Jones said, he's getting the best out of those kids every time they step on the field. That's what equals winning programs. Yeah, that's what the Chiefs were doing. That's for sure. All right, Pacers, Knicks. Two of us picked the Pacers, and David went against his team, and Pacers ended up winning that game. David took the Knicks in that one, and then all three of us took Auburn at Florida. So none of us got that one. All three of us took Bama over LSU. We all got that one. And then Baylor, Kansas. Y'all picked Baylor. I picked Kansas, so I snuck that one in. I only had 4 picks correct.
What was that score?
They think they won by, it was close.
It was close.
It was like 64-61,
Nice.
I think.
Good for Baylor.
Very low scoring game in that one.
You remember how I told you why I picked Baylor?
Yes.
For no reason at all having to do with the basketball team. Oh, Baylor hired Gary Patterson as an associate to the football program. Boom, let's go Baylor Bears.
Hey, there you go. Find a reason. That's all that matters. And then all three of us picked the 49ers, and we should have known better because the Chiefs just don't lose ever. They lost several times. They lost 5 times in the regular season.
Which I think only makes them stronger for the postseason because they can go back and watch that film. Well, here's what's happening, so let's not let that happen here. And if we get an opportunity late in the game, and then early in the game when I think it was Justin Watson had that kind of like sliding throw to him,
and then
target to him,
dropped.
and he dropped it. It's like, okay, maybe the drops are going to show up.
Yeah.
Kansas, no,
because they didn't let Kadarius Toney play. They're like, you're not hurt, but you're not playing. That'd be such a bummer. Like Super Bowl and you're a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Because you're a liability because you can't catch a football, which is your fundamental job as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But
you had mentioned something about, I guess, you being 9 when the 49ers won, Liam being 9, and them being the Niners. I mean, like triple 9.
I was trying to make as much as I could possibly have happen. And that statistic I talked about too. Every time, this is the first time now that it's the trend has been broken. Every time the Niners won the NFC Championship and then went on to win the Super Bowl, they beat a team that had blue in their jerseys in each one of those NFC championships. Lions had blue in their jerseys. So I was like, God, there's something. I was trying to hang on to something.
I'm with you.
We're close. Hey, we only lost by 3.
That's that's such an interesting stat though. Like that, you know what I mean? Like the coincidences or whatever, but it's still a trend.
Yeah,
still a trend.
Yeah. It's like you said, something you can hang on to and use it to give yourself artificial confidence.
That's right.
So the record now is 103, 135, and 126. So I'm down by 9. Jay, you broke 100.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll keep going, and I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate golf, but that's going to be a little bit tough.
Yeah, it would be.
I could do like people we think that they're top 10 or something. It's like a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That'd be cool.
So we could definitely make that happen.
Dude, we're going to be like up to like 500 wins by the time football season comes back around.
I don't have an end date, so we'll just. Yeah.
I love it.
Well, the end date is when football season starts again.
Can we do Daytona this weekend? Can we pick a car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whoever finished the highest gets the point or whatever.
Yeah, cool. There you go. I like that. Look at you incorporating some auto racing. Good stuff. That is for sure. All right. All these fun prop bets and what actually came to fruition. The coin flip result was heads. Reba McEntire's national anthem, the over-under, was 86.5 seconds. It went over. There was also a prop these are pregame props. There was a prop that Taylor Swift would either be shown or not shown during the national anthem. She was not shown during the national anthem, if you had that one. Reba McEntire did not sing the national anthem a cappella. She sang it with music. So that was another bet you could do, whether she would sing it a cappella or not. She did not sing it a cappella. All right, halftime show props. The first song ended up being You Don't Have to Call. The last song was Yeah. Usher did not wear sunglasses during his halftime performance. The first guest performer was Alicia Keys. It got a little touchy-feely there on the old stage between Usher and Alicia. She can play the hell out of a piano.
Yeah, and Usher has not aged at all. He looks the same as he did back in '97.
Yep, he's pretty much the same person. It's
crazy.
I mean, he is the same person, yes, but now he's I don't know. He's probably got some kind of access to stuff that us common folks don't have access to. Total songs performed. The over/under was 8.5. It went over 8.5, and the songs had to include lyrics in that particular situation. On the commercial props, the result of Gronk's kick. I didn't really watch any of the commercials yesterday. I think when you have an event and you have people over for the game, I just never seem to watch the commercials.
I didn't either.
Because you're getting stuff done when the commercials are going on. And
I saw the Twister thing. That was the only thing I saw.
Yeah, Twisters.
Twisters, yeah.
Plural, which is scary. What's scarier than one tornado? Two.
Is that right?
Three. They had two in the first one, though. You remember? When they were in the red truck.
Oh, yeah.
They split. And that's when the cow went by. There was two during that one. They called them sisters.
That's right.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
Such a good movie. Watched it too many times. So anyway, the result of Gronk's kick in the Kick of Destiny 2 FanDuel commercial was a miss. I guess he missed it last year too. I didn't even see it. He missed it this year as well.
Wide right, I believe, right?
Wide right.
I didn't see it. I never saw the commercial. I just know a girl who was actually there for the
like the filming of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
So.
That's cool. And then there was another bet that you could do on the commercials, whether you would see Lionel Messi or David Beckham first, and Lionel Messi appeared first in a Mick Ultra commercial, where David Beckham appeared later in an Uber Eats commercial.
Nice.
And then actress Aubrey Plaza Mountain Dew commercial appeared before Jenna Ortega in a Doritos commercial. That was another.
I got both those right.
Oh, nice! Look at you.
This is from the Athletic prop bet.
Yep.
Yeah, boy, that thing was awesome.
Yeah, that's is that what that sheet was from?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because we only got through like a quarter of it.
So we had one that was from USA Today that had like the pictures and stuff on there, and then you had the black and white picture that was from the Athletic.
Gotcha. It's just wild. They said, what was it, like more than $10 billion were bet during this time period for the Super Bowl?
That's crazy.
It's a lot of money. 68 million people in America placed a bet, at least one bet on the game, or something to do with the event, the big game, as some people call it.
Amazing.
All right. In the Nerds, who is Addison Rae coaching commercial? Rae was coaching Other. It was a Nerds. If it was a Nerds gummy. I don't really know what that one means. But all right.
I wrote all. All of those.
Player props. Should have bet this one. First touchdown scorer. Not surprising. CMC on the reception from Juwan Jennings.
That Run CMC shirt that I keep seeing, is that a Run DMC kind of?
Yes,
okay. I'm just figuring that one out.
It's a pun, yeah.
Yeah, just hit me.
And I'm not wearing that shirt anymore. I changed clothes a couple times last night. I shouldn't have put on the Frank Gore jersey for overtime.
Yeah.
That's it.
The one thing that I did go back and realize this morning is I always wear my Niners hats during the game, but I couldn't wear a hat yesterday.
He was hiding in the bathroom for that last kick, right?
The 53-yarder?
The 53-yarder.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't watch that one.
Oh, boy.
I was shocked he made the 55.
Yeah.
Right off the gate.
Mm-hmm. And the record. For,
and it was a record.
For a little while.
Yeah. Until Harrison hit one from 57. Yeah. Because I figured he's going to miss that one, and then he's going to be in his head and all that stuff.
And, of course, with the ending, everyone, still comes out with the script. Like, why would the NFL, did the script writers just get so lazy they were like, hey, let's get a lot of field goals into this game?
Yeah. No scripts. You can't script that stuff. Anyway, first touchdown scorer was CMC. Anytime touchdown scorers were McCaffrey, Juwan Jennings, MVS, and Mecole Hardman. Final touchdown scorer, Mecole Hardman. Didn't even realize he won the Super Bowl after he caught the touchdown pass, which is pretty wild. Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 touchdown throws, over 262.5 yards passing, over 36.5 passing attempts, over 26.5 rushing yards, over 12.5 longest rush, over over 0.5 interception. Longest pass went over 36.5 yards. Over on the Brock Purdy side, real quick, before we got to take a break, he was under 1.5 touchdown throws. He was over 247.5 yards passing, over 30.5 passing attempts, under 12.5 yards rushing, over in the rushing one, depending on where you got it, was wild because he got sacked on that one, and because at one point he was up to like 20, I think.
Jeez.
And then under 0.5 interceptions, as he did not throw an interception. Longest pass went under 37.5 yards. George Kittle, pretty much everything, or we'll go ahead and take a break real quick, and then we'll finish up these because there's some cool fun facts later in this, too, that I want to get to for sure. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
Suffer from political talk radio fatigue?
We know that under the 49% rate, he has the
Tune into the most fun and exciting new radio show on the Gulf Coast. It's The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's Place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's Place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's Place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable, period. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
In the jewelry business, there is no substitute for experience. David Adamson has over 46 years of experience, 32 of those in Lynn Haven. Designing and creating fine jewelry is more than a job for David, it's a joy. If you're looking for a spectacular jewelry design that says you, or perhaps you need your jewelry repaired, look no further than David Adamson Designer Jewelry. All work is done in-house and always to your complete satisfaction. Stop in today at David Adamson Designer Jewelry, 830 Ohio Avenue in Lynn Haven. They're on Facebook and at pcjeweler.com.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Going to finish out all these props from the Super Bowl yesterday. Pretty much any of the Niners receivers except for Juwan Jennings, if you bet under on any of their receptions, yardage, all that good stuff, you probably did pretty well. George Kittle, under 50.5 yards receiving, under 3.5 catches, under 21.5 is the longest catch. Debo was under 58.5 yards receiving, under 4.5 catches, and under 21.5 yards being the longest catch. Then over on the Brandon Ayuk side, although he almost would have nailed it on that one play early in the game, if I think he just got turned around a little bit and lost the sight of where that football was, because that would have been a heck of a start, because shortly after, or right after that too, is when CMC went on to fumble that football. So it's very shocking there. That probably, CMC with a fumble probably was a pretty good payout if you were to bet that. But luckily it didn't impact anything, as the Niners got a 3-and-out real quick after that. So that was a blessing, that's for sure. Anyway, Brandon Ayuk was under 61.5 yards receiving, under 4.5 catches, under 24.5 is the longest catch. Over there on the Chiefs side, Rashid Rice was under on all three of his categories as well, under 67.5 yards receiving, under 6.5 catches, and 21.5 was the longest catch over-under, and that was under as well. Travis Kelce, on the other side, was over on all three of those categories. 70.5 yards receiving was the number. He was over that. 6.5 catches. He was over that. 20.5 was longest yards catch. He was over that. Then Isaiah Pacheco on the running side of things, he was under 65.5 yards rushing, over 87.5 rushing and receiving yards, over 15.5 rushing attempts, under 15.5 yards is the longest rush. CMC, first ever player in Super Bowl history to go for 80 receiving yards and 80 rushing yards. So he set a record in the Super Bowl as well. He was under 91.5 yards rushing. He was over 18.5 rushing attempts. He was over 130 rushing and receiving yards total, and then longest rush was 17.5. That hit the under as well. Post-game props, here we get into some fun ones. Super Bowl MVP was...
I have no idea.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
It's kind of one of those things, typically the winning quarterback in the Super Bowl, unless somebody's done something outstanding. Like, I think Jawan Jennings might have had a legitimate shot to win the Super Bowl MVP had the Niners went on to win that one. We talked about it earlier on the show, but the Gatorade winning color was purple. Forget what the odds were on that one.
Plus 275.
Plus 275?
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. That's not bad.
No.
$10 getting you $27.50 for purple.
That's right.
Purple's a good one, too. We talked about that at length. Some miscellaneous things. The winning squares, as you know, Super Bowl square boards are a very popular thing to do. First quarter was 0-0. 0-0 is first quarter a lot, it seems like, in the Super Bowl. And sometimes you get it at halftime, too.
I think it was 10. That was the 10th. No scoring in the first quarter.
Oh, really?
I think so.
It happens more often than not, that's for sure. And then halftime, it was 0 for the Niners as they had 10 and 3 for the Chiefs. And then the third quarter, it was the same thing because it was the same score. And then your final score was Niners 2, Chiefs 5. That was because of many factors, the missed extra point, and also when you score to win the game on a touchdown, you don't kick the extra point. So the fun fact with that, although 22-25 final score is not an NFL scoregami, which is scoregami means it's never happened before. It was the first time 2-5 or 5-2 had hit in any quarter in Super Bowl history.
Wow. How about that? Unique. And that was the 10th scoreless first quarter.
Wow. Huh. It's crazy. Total field goals made, the over-under was 6.5. It was over. Shortest touchdown was the over-under was 1.5 yards. We talked about that, a play from the 1 yard line, and that was over because it was over that 1.5 number.
The shortest touchdown was that last touchdown, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that was from the
like 4 yards.
Yeah, the 3 or the 4, absolutely. Which is crazy. That's basically the same play that they ran against Philadelphia when they scored on that final drive in the game. When you bring the receiver in motion coming in and then just bounce him straight out, that's such a hard play to defend. Unless you got some corner sitting over there in a zone and just in the way. And I don't know if that's where you have a guy like Greenlaw in there or something like that. But Jair Brown had a hell of a Super Bowl too. Rookie safety, but getting thrown in when Hufanga got injured. He had an interception, some pass breakups, just a great game.
Didn't Jair go down whenever he hit Kelce? Wasn't that Jair that guy?
That was, dislocated his shoulder, when he knocked Kelce out of bounds on the end of the fourth quarter, the end of drive, too. Yes, absolutely. Last turnover of the game, fumble. Technically, it was a muff punt, but the official box score is a lost fumble. That was your last turnover of the game. Who will have a longer pass completion, Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy? Patrick Mahomes with that 52-yard completion early in the game to Mecole Hardman. He got that one done. Will any of the following events occur in a game? Safety, flea flicker attempt, field goal, doink, defense, TD, special teams, TD? No. First team to score was the San Francisco 49ers. First team to reach 10 points, San Francisco 49ers. First team to reach 20 points, San Francisco 49ers. First team to score a touchdown, San Francisco 49ers. Did all that stuff, but just couldn't win the football game. First team to punt was the Chiefs. The longest field goal was over 47.5 yards. Jake Moody first hit the 55-yard field goal record, followed by Harrison Butker on that 57-yard field goal to break Moody's record. The first penalty flag of a game was a false start. The iconic Las Vegas landmark seen on the broadcast first during the game was the Luxor Pyramid Sphinx that was shown there. It's crazy what you can bet on in this game. It's wild. Will SpongeBob be shown on the CBS broadcast during the game? Yes or no? The answer was yes. First person sitting directly next to Taylor Swift during the game, Blake Lively. Will Taylor Swift be shown in the stadium before the final whistle wearing clothing that bears Travis Kelce's name, number, image, or likeness? That was a yes or no. The answer was yes in that one as well. And that rounds out all your prop bets there from the Super Bowl.
I like it.
A lot of people betting.
Yeah.
A lot of people betting.
$10 billion.
I got to look up that exact amount. It's more than $10 billion. How much total money was bet in Monopoly? $23 billion.
$23 billion.
Billion with a B.
Yikes.
Imagine what you can do with $23 billion.
No kidding.
It's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Just shows how people love to bet on sports.
Mm-hmm. Entertainment.
Well, in this game, too, it's exactly what it is. It's entertainment. It gives people a reason to root for something. If they don't have skin in the game, like I've said 27 times today, it gives them. That's why the Super Bowl Squares board is such a fun thing to do. And it's cool you're seeing people use that as fundraising now as well.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of like travel ball teams do it where they'll, split half the pot and pay out in the quarters and the other half will go to the team.
Your calligraphy is still on point, Ryan. I'm going to tell you what, that's if anybody needs a Super Bowl board.
My regular handwriting, though, is terrible.
I got you.
But yeah, I've been doing calligraphy for a long time. That was a brand new Sharpie, too. So when you have a brand new
Come on, give yourself
Sharpie,
a little credit. No?
No, it was good. I made a couple mistakes, but
that's
okay. That's why you just cover them up.
That's right.
But I know you got to go bounce real quick.
I do.
Go pick up your doggy dog.
Yes, she took a field trip over the weekend, so
there you go.
Pick her up.
Old sailor.
See how she did.
Got that event coming up this
February 24th.
24th, not this Saturday.
Society.
Next Saturday over there at the Humane Society.
9 a.m.
And then you got all your fun stuff coming up in March for all the youths out there in sports. We got a lot of stuff coming up at Bay Point as well. We got the Florida Panhandle Golf Therapy Alliance coming up on March 8th. There is it's filling up fast, but there's still some opportunities to get in that one. That's just such a fun event for such a great cause, and a lot of other charity golf tournaments coming up. I know the Bay County, or not the Bay County, the Live Like Drew Foundation has their golf tournament coming up, but I think it's already full. So the thing is, if you're looking to play in these golf tournaments, like for serious,
Save the Bay.
You got Save the Bay's coming up. We got a huge wedding coming up at Bay Point as well. How about we've been talking about Dusty Slay, right?
Yeah,
he is coming to Panama City Beach on April 26th.
Oh my!
I sent you and David that text message.
I didn't see it. I did not see it.
I sent it a couple days ago.
Did you?
It probably got lost in the shuffle with all the ladies that have been texting.
No, negative, no. But that'd be a good one. Where's he going to be?
It's going to be at the Captain Anderson's Event Center, so it's literally just right down the road. That's wild that we've been talking about him. And now, so Jason over there at Gulf Coast, he's also in charge of Panama City Comedy Club. He ended up booking. They're going to be filming a Netflix and Comedy Central special as well while they're doing that one.
Cool.
So I need to go buy some tickets now because he was saying that they are going fast.
He's funny, I tell you.
It's going to be cool to see him in person. Right here. I wouldn't have to go anywhere.
Well, I don't know if you caught it last night, but I said we're having a good game, Ryan. We're having a good game.
You can't ask.
We're having a good show.
Yeah, having a good show. I didn't say it once today. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
I know.
Oh man, but yeah, get out of here. I know you got to go. Go get Sailor. We'll finish these last 5 minutes out. We'll be able to handle it by ourselves. That's for sure.
You guys have a good afternoon.
Yeah, have a good afternoon. Have a good show. Having a good show. It's a hot show. It's a good one. That's for sure. That's for sure. Jay Henley, ladies and gentlemen, he has left. No, you haven't left the building yet. You can call in while you're driving.
I'll listen.
I'm just kidding. I am just kidding. But yes. David, any other interesting thoughts on the Super Bowl in these last 4 minutes for today?
I will say that it's funny that people complain about halftime artist lip syncing, and then when someone doesn't lip sync, they want to complain about everything else.
Yep.
It's like, and the guy was dancing, it's say a lot. And I had no want to watch the halftime show. I literally didn't. I was about to walk outside, and then as soon as he started singing, I'm like, dude, he's not lip syncing right now. Like, you could tell because he doesn't sound the greatest in the world.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you can hear the backtrack. So just like you're at a legitimate concert, there's always going to be playing that backtrack because some noise has to be coming out. Either you guys don't go to concerts or you have no idea how music is made. And I'm not trying to point out that you don't know how music is made. I could care less about that. What I am saying is, instead of all of this hate towards someone who's going out there and doing something different and something that people have been asking for. Like, I don't watch the Super Bowl halftime show because it's lip sync.
Yeah.
And then when someone doesn't lip sync it, you want a garbage.
You can't have your cake and eat it too, people.
Exactly. So it's like, can't we just like, good job, man. Yeah. And then for all of the Taylor Swift stuff, it's like, oh my gosh, Taylor Swift. Like, bro, how many guys wish that their girls would enjoy football? And this, I can't even say that this is an original thought because I saw it on Facebook from someone else. But how often are guys like, dude, I wish my girl would like watch football, and this girl is doing that and bringing more eyes from female
and how many females are now watching football with their dudes because of Taylor Swift?
She's increasing your likelihood to find the girl that you want, and or at least to make the girl do something that y'all could, find some common ground on. And it's like, oh, I can't believe she's on the screen. Like, dude, move your eyes for 3 seconds.
Yeah,
man.
you don't have to look.
Who cares, dude?
People just love to complain.
Yes, and I look at me. I'm complaining about the people complaining. So I'm in the same boat as us
complaining
all.
about the complainers.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Super Bowl halftime show I thought was pretty fantastic. Just because that's not easy to do what they are doing, especially because they're in charge of coming up with all the stuff, how the songs are going to be, and the fact that he was roller skating though was pretty wild.
And the hockey gloves threw me off at the end. Like, wrong sport, bro.
Yeah, that was a little confusing. That's for sure. But
there's probably something that people who are Usher fans, like, there was a reason.
Yeah, there's probably some
Usher
correlation with that. Yeah, for sure. But like I said when we opened the show, I think there was a lot of 35 to 50-year-olds that when Ludacris and Little John and all these people came out, they got really excited about.
Yeah,
because that's what that was the big music when we were growing up in high school and college and all that stuff, and it's kind of cool to see it come to fruition. I think he works his butt off.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does what he does with his feet.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
It's definitely wow. It's almost like a human drum machine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the way that his body can move to every like snare and hi-hat and bass drum. Yeah, it's wild. Very impressive.
Yep. He's a great entertainer, that is for sure. And that's what the halftime show is supposed to be. It's supposed to be entertaining. That is for...
I thought Reba did a great job with the national anthem. Was that over or under 86.5? Do we know that? It was over?
Yep.
By about what?
I don't know what the actual number was when we went through the props. It just said it hit the over.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. I would like to see, I had the point last week saying, like, I wish they would, put aspiring artists or put someone in the spotlight with it. I like that idea, and I would like to see different genres of music, but you do have to appeal to the masses when you're talking about something like the Super Bowl, and it is a good thing to revive someone's career and whatnot. So, for someone who had really no interest in watching the halftime show, and then once I noticed he wasn't lip syncing, it was thoroughly enjoyable. I'll say that.
Definitely. I mean, and the expectations that, like you were saying with people, what they have for these halftime shows is just crazy stuff, too. I'm going to end the show with this little aged tweet that didn't go so well for Troy Aikman. Back in 2019, when Mahomes just had won his first Super Bowl title, the Athletic Kansas City Twitter handle said, in case you missed it, Patrick Mahomes has thrown 36% of Troy Aikman's career touchdowns in about 8% of the games. And Troy Aikman had retweeted it to that point. He said, in case you missed it, talk to me when he has 33% of my Super Bowl titles. Well, guess what? He's now has the exact same amount of Super Bowl titles as you do, Troy Aikman. So, and he was in the league for 11 years, and Patrick Mahomes has only been in it for 7, and still going strong at 28 years old. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4 p.m. I'm sure they will be breaking down Super Bowl 58, talking about all that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow. Normal Tuesday schedule. Have Doc A back on with us at 11:20. Excited to talk about some NBA with him, and we'll progress through the rest of the week. We appreciate you guys listening right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.
Start your morning with sports updates, interviews, reactions, lively discussions, insights, and expert analysis.
I think in our lifetime, we will never see another undefeated